The Selfish Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Everything that we discuss on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph is for informational purposes only. It's either our own experiences, opinions and insights or our guests. It's not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied upon as health or personal. It's time to prioritise yourself and your well-being. Subscribe now and get ready to put yourself first with the Selfish Podcast.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back. Our first episode of 2024 on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good
today.
I'm good. I'm very good today. Thank you.
I've been, since we had that chat about not being so ambiguous with just the how are you, I've really been thinking about that and kind of putting more of a time constraint on it.
Yeah.
And it's really
helpful.
helpful.
I think it makes it more meaningful as well to the person as well. Because if you just ask me how am I, great. But if you, I will just say that as a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
But when you say today, I'm like, oh, okay.
It makes you stop and kind of think about the present moment and think like, oh, actually, how am I today?
And actually, when you ask me that question, I go, oh, she actually wants to know how I am. It's not just
Not just that flow on from a hello.
Yeah, and do you know that in Singapore, people won't say, how are you? They'll say, have you eaten? Because food. So I would come to work and everyone would be like, hey, Steph, have you eaten? And have you...
Stop it.
No, truth. Because food is such an important and rich part of the culture.
Okay.
And so have you eaten almost replaces how are you? Well, it does. No one will ask you, how are you? They'll say, have you eaten? And if you've eaten, then you must be good because you've eaten. So, yeah, it got... And if anyone's listening from Singapore, because I know we do have a number of listeners over there, let us know what it means to you. But, and I would often respond like, oh yeah, I've eaten well, thank you. I had scrambled eggs and toast for breakfast. And then I'm like, oh no, they don't want to know. It's just, yes, I have. Have you? How are you?
Wow. I feel like you've told me this before, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope you are all well today. To our listeners out there, we hope you have eaten a beautiful meal. And you know what? If you like the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph, we always love your feedback, but would also love you to refer us to a friend, help us grow.
We're doing a cheesy call out for you all to all our beautiful listeners and fans, where we absolutely love hearing from you all, and we would love to kind of grow our audience this year. That's, I guess, a little bit of a intention, which we are going to go into more of today.
Yes.
But in general for us on the podcast is to, broaden our audience.
Absolutely. And the Selfish Podcast really is about how are we putting ourselves first, how are we looking after ourselves and making sure that we've got the oxygen mask on before we put everyone else's on. And it's about us exploring, relationship to self, relationship to others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk about the oxygen mask, also like filling up our own cup, and ways in which that we can ensure that we are, making ourselves feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we go deep, sometimes
we might be lighter.
We cry, sometimes we laugh. We often laugh, actually.
Lots of laughing.
I think every episode we laugh.
We've got a little wine today too.
Yes, we do.
The sun is actually out. It's been gloomy the whole of summer here in... Well, not all across SA, just more the Fleurieu region.
Yeah.
Region.
Yeah.
I put a funny little j sound in there instead of a j. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is good to be back. We had a few weeks off. We weren't sure. We actually said, let's record on Boxing Day, which I don't know why we thought that was a good idea at the time, but we thought,
even last week, I couldn't get my mind. Even today, when we were chatting yesterday, I was like, I was at day 2 on my moon, so in my moon cycle, and I was like, I think I was speaking to Steph, and you would have heard how I just felt. I just knew my energy level was so low. Yes. I was so mundane and boring. I'm so sorry
you were mundane and boring. I think it's just that time of year. We have so many things going on, and it's also like, I don't know about you, but there's we've had people staying with us for a lot of the time, and there's so many people down in this area, so it's lots of catch-ups and drinking and a lot of socialising.
It was also Monday, which is ruled by the moon, and it's a slow day.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'm going to take more note. I'm going to note more of that this year as well.
That's what I want to do, actually.
think about my days a bit more and how I'm going to structure them. Anyway, we'll
go into
digressing.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm feeling much perkier today.
Yeah, you are. You're looking perky.
Yeah. Because I feel like the sun is out. It's graced us and we're sitting on Steph's balcony and it's the outlook is spectacular over the hills over there. I love it out here.
Blue skies.
Blue skies.
Sweating a little bit under the
I forgot to put deodorant on. So
no, but that's what summer's all about. That's what summer holidays all about. It's about not showering because you've been at the ocean. It's about not washing your hair, and it's just no makeup, no deodorant, no nothing. I like it.
Yeah, shave my pits.
Well done. Well done.
Not my legs.
I don't know if I've got that far. That's why I had to change tops. Like we don't want to.
Well, we're not putting our arms up here.
No, I'm
not. Keeping them strictly right next to me. So my lovely odour.
I don't mind. So how have your holidays been other than the reflections we just had then?
So I feel like it's been a bit of a blur, to be honest. I find that always though, that kind of let's have another glass. We're just pouring another glass of wine, everybody.
Be our Charlotte episode, take 2.
It's take 2. What was I saying? Yeah, so I feel like it's just a bit of a blur, but a lovely kind of blur too. Yeah. It was. It's been a nice break. Lots of time with the family. We've been in the garden. We've got a little bit of it actually for everyone who knows. We did a house renovation and we've been in for a year, but we've been slowly kind of working on the garden and the landscaping and whatnot. Anyway, our architect has given us a deadline of the 1st or the 5th of February, when unsure yet, for photographs to be taken for some architecture awards. And he wants the whole backyard to be landscaped.
Oh.
And so it's been really, but also it's actually really nice to have a timeline on something that I know is going to make us feel really great once it's done.
You always need a deadline. I always need a deadline.
If we're thinking human design talk, you work well on deadlines.
Yeah, pressure makes diamonds.
Yes. I am a bit more free-flowing with that.
You generator you?
No, I'm a manifester. But we're specifically talking about the reason why we're talking about.
I was so happy with myself just then.
I know you were really, weren't you? Sorry to belt you down a few. No, we're actually talking about the root in the human design chart. Your bottom, the one that's kind of sits at your the root of your body is yours is coloured in and mine is open.
Tailbone,
Yeah. So when it comes to completing tasks, you do really well with a deadline and you will do things right at the end.
Yes.
And I do better with no deadline, just do it when I want. And
free flow.
But I feel like this has been really nice for us as a fam to kind of, have a project.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have a project.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I will update you all on how that is going. At the moment, we are making progress, but it is a little bit slow. But that's okay.
Yeah, but it's progressing.
It's progressing. We're moving forward. And that feels good.
And you've got a bit under a month, and you'll get there.
And we'll have the lawn laid, and probably the day before, and happy days.
Yeah.
How about you?
Nice holidays have been good. It's been nice I've had 2 weeks off work, so it's been nice just to slow down and not think about things. And I do a lot of late night calls and early morning calls, so it's been nice just to not have that and just not. I love not knowing what day it is, or just rolling with it, which is so fun. But poor Huey, he has always had a bit of an on and off bad back. So on the 28th, I think it was, he did his back. So he's been really in a lot of pain, and that's not been so good because he's barely been able to move. He's not been able to do much with Fred or anything, and a lot of the stuff that we were going to do, even going to the beach, not that it's been great beach weather, but is painful. Everything's painful. So in a way, it's forced us to slow down.
Always good.
Even more. But it's just on the mend now, so that has been good. And we have had some friends staying with us. It's been a lot of fun. So.
I met some of Steph's friends, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, so people who are moving back from overseas and my bestie who's been based overseas. So no, that's been really lovely. Lots of eating, lots of drinking, lots of chatting.
Deep combos.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good. Lots of food and drink. I'm looking forward to routine. Are you?
Yeah.
Just some, it doesn't have to be like a strict routine, but just some form of a bit more structure in my weeks.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
I feel like it comes to a point where that free flow is just not sustainable.
Even for a manifester.
Well.
Or with an open route.
I do need my freedom. But I really like kind of like, it's just, I think with the kids around all the time, it's hard to get things done.
Yeah, it is.
I could get a bit frustrated because I feel like I'm not doing, which is not a bad thing. Oh, I'm going to like unpack something here, aren't I? Yeah, just... Yes, you are right. I do enjoy my freedom and that sense of autonomy, which I definitely have had on holidays, but I also feel like I have that during my like working time as well.
Yeah.
But it's just got a bit more padding and a bit more structure around it so that I don't know, I feel like I'm looking after my body, I'm nourishing myself, but at the moment I'm just like...
No, exactly. I feel like when you're on holidays, all of that, like there's so much focus on the family and what you're doing that you just, I feel like all bets are off with everything else that's going on. Whereas now, so I'm back at work this week and I sort of feel like, okay, I can get back into my scheduled stuff. I can sort of work out what's going on.
Even yourself, if you're thinking about holiday time, when you are a parent, it's not really, I get less time by myself.
Yeah, me too.
So I think that's what I want.
Yeah. Well, just some balance, just some of that balance.
A bit more of a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Because I don't think I'm yearning the structure. I'm just yearning the structure of having alone time.
Yes, having some time for me.
Yep.
Yeah, and getting back into this. This has been important. Like this is an important part of my life now.
Yes.
The podcast and having the structure around that.
Agree.
But when you're on holidays and you've got your family around, it's harder to fit it in.
Yeah.
Like last week I was like, I just like don't even know when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just didn't want to, not that Adam and I fight about it, but there is a little bit, it's that kind of give and take of time, I guess.
Yeah. And there's always a bit of tension when someone else has got something else that they're wanting to do and you just don't want to have that.
No.
You just want to have the all-encompassing time.
Absolutely.
And then if you want to then do some gardening and walk to the beach, you can. You don't have a drop time where you've then got to come and record or do something else. That's how I just like having no plans.
No plans and then just let it unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like where we live, you can have no plans, but then the plans just come to you.
Oh, totally.
Because you might go to the coffee shop and then you bump
we
into
live
someone.
in a holiday destination,
Exactly.
don't we?
Exactly. Yeah.
Eternal holidays.
Which can be confusing because everyone thinks you're on holidays all the time. And I was like, no, I live here. I'm working. I've got a life.
I still have to go home and do the housework.
Yeah. I'm not in a holiday house.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Things to ponder.
But
I wouldn't give it up living here. Apart from the weather this season has been a bit iffy, but it's such a nice, I like it. I like holiday vibe down here.
Yeah, me too. And it was lightness. And I was just thinking about it today, and I think gratitude is something that's been forefront of my last few years in terms of finding that balance within myself and just being present and all that kind of stuff. But we were down, Hugh went cockling yesterday. So he was finally able to move. So he went cockling just down at Middleton, got a bunch of cockles with his friend, all within the size limit and also under the,
So where in Middleton? Or can it give?
I can't disclose. But you've got the cockles have got to be a certain size.
Yes.
And then also you
can
only,
you disclose
300 per person.
Offline?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can disclose offline. I just wouldn't know how to describe it. It's not that I'm not being.
She's
not
being
hiding.
tightly.
I'm not
she's
being
tightly.
I don't know where it is. It's just I could take you there in my car, but I couldn't describe it. So no, Hugh's very hot on like having everything within regulation and the size limit and the size amount.
That's
just
great.
Because it's important for the
important for the
ocean and the ecosystem. Yeah. So no, he went cockling and we've had to bring fresh water to the cockles because it's not for bait. We're wanting to flush out the cockles and then make some delicious cockle dishes.
Do you bring fresh water or is it seawater?
No, seawater.
So seawater.
What did I say?
Yes.
Did I say fresh water? Sorry. So we need fresh seawater.
Yes.
Fresh seawater to change the water over so the cockles don't get too much of their own filth.
Manky.
And then they end up dying, So to keep them alive, but
sick.
to allow them to flush themselves out. flush all the so anyway, we've been doing some trips to the sea in
Yes.
the evening and the morning. So this morning before we took Freddie to childcare, we went down to this beautiful little bay, and I was just looking around and thinking, you know what, this is just idyllic. We're down at the beach, pre-work, pre-childcare. He's running around, Fritz is laughing and barking and in a happy way, and Freddie's giggling, and Hugh's in the ocean. Like, it was just actually, I was just looking around going, this is
life,
living. Is life, and this is beautiful. And I, wish I had a camera crew following me to show myself when I'm feeling, down, that this is such a beautiful.
Did you feel in that moment that you want to kind of continue that kind of morning ritual?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not every day, but
no,
it was just
but some days.
In summer, it's just why not take advantage of this beautiful place we call home.
Yeah, love that. I love that. Beautiful. What a morning.
What a morning. And that's what, holidays are about too. Mind you, I'm not on holidays anymore, but.
You're back at it. I'm still off for another couple of weeks. Yeah. But is it a bit slower for you, or is it?
Not really.
No. Because
Chinese Lunar New Year will be a bit slower, but until then, so that's 10th of Feb, we're going into the year of the dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, which is a very auspicious
Can you talk
year.
more about this
I will.
Some point?
Yeah, I will in Feb. But yeah, until then, it's none of the other countries I'm working with really take heaps of time off over Christmas.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Yeah, we're different down here. Down under.
Down under. Well, it's our summer holidays. Rightly so.
Absolutely. Love it. All right, what are we catching up about today? What are we chatting about? What was our theme?
Resolutions. But before we get into that, I did have some DMs into our Instagram.
Oh, I forgot about,
Just about, because I know I've talked about my skin a little bit, but I've talked about it across probably a whole bunch of episodes since May. About this rosacea that I had, which pretty much was covering my entire face, very raised skin, very upset skin. And they sort of said, what episode? Could you point me to the episode where you talk about your skin? I was like, well, I've talked about it in every episode. So I thought it might be useful just to give a quick summary.
Love that.
Of what I've been doing and what's happened and where we are now and what's next.
Yeah. How's it feeling?
Yeah. So my skin first, I've always had good skin. And I know we've talked about this because it really knocked my self-confidence around, because people would often comment on my skin. And that would always be a compliment, like maybe a top 2 compliment I got given a lot.
Yes.
So I therefore associated my self-worth with my skin. So then when my skin fell apart in May, I did find it really challenging. Really challenging, because I sort of felt like my weight had been fluctuating and my mental health had been fluctuating and everything had been fluctuating, but I still had my skin.
I still had my perfect skin.
And then so for me, it all started in about May.
Yes.
I was still breastfeeding Freddie. But I still had the postpartum hormones. I had just had COVID, and I feel like COVID put maybe that stress on my body.
The inflammatory response, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. And then also we were going through a very, very stressful time in my personal life, which, I might share that
at some
down
point.
The line, but it's not really my story to share, essentially. But very, very, very highly, highly stressful time.
Yes.
So all of those things lead to rosacea. So rosacea is like, are you stressed? And then obviously I've had the stress of the last 3 years, which has just been compounding. 2 pregnancies, breastfeeding, then this stress, then COVID, and then everything else. And also, though, in May, I felt like I was at a place, and I think you can sort of track it through the podcast if you ever go back to back episodes. Like, we'd started the podcast, I was feeling like I was expressing myself a little bit more. So from a emotional point of view, my body, I think, was feeling a bit more safe.
Yes.
And I feel like that, like, I had been working through a lot of stuff, and maybe my body felt safe that it could express all of this stuff.
Yeah, and a bit of a purge.
A bit of a purge, yeah. Plus I had my gut, like I had gut issues, like really bad reflux all the time and this kind of stuff. Yeah. So I felt like it was sort of a converging of all of those different stresses, whether it be emotional stress, physical stress, all of the different possible stresses, plus my gut stuff. So I went to the naturopath to start with in July. I think I waited till July.
Yeah, I think you tried a few other things.
Yeah, I think I just thought it would go away.
Yeah.
I thought it would just go away. So started in May, finally went to the naturopath about June, July.
Yes.
They sort of said, maybe it's the gut health relationship, and I had done a little bit of research on that.
Yeah.
So at that point I decided to stop having dairy, gluten and sugar.
That's right.
And I do feel like that has had a big impact. I still have sugar. Like, no, I'm not giving that up entirely. But the gluten and dairy I've almost got rid of completely.
Really?
Unless I'm having cheeses with, on a cheese board.
Yep.
But changed from dairy milk or cow's milk to oat milk or almond milk, which you got me onto the almond milk. But yeah, I feel like that had a massive change. Still have no reflux pretty much to this day unless I'm drinking copious amounts of champagne, which has been happening a little bit lately. And then, so that was sort of the gut stuff. That wasn't really helping though at the time with my skin. It was sort of, I could see some changes but not enough changes. So I went to the dermatologist in September.
That's right.
Pre my Malaysia trip because I was like, I'm not going to Malaysia like this.
And when was Malaysia again?
That was October that I went to Malaysia. So I went to the dermo a month before that because it was just so red and so raised and so terrible. So I went to the dermo. Then I went on doxycycline.
Yes, which is
a antibiotic, but I was taking it in a really small dose.
Yes, okay.
And that pretty much cleared up my skin almost overnight.
I remember.
And that's when I started. That's when I noticed that if I was taking the doxy and then I had some gluten or sugar, I could then see the next day the gluten and sugar on my face.
Yeah, wow.
So, and even to this day, that is a bit of a trigger.
Yes.
And it is a bit of a trigger for rosacea. So anyway, started that, then started doing red light treatment, which was 2 days a week. I would go in for 20 minutes of red light treatment, which helps inflammatory. And then I changed my skincare products and routine. And I'm still doing the skincare products and routine. Yeah, I'm still doing the skincare products and routine.
Yes.
I haven't done red light treatment.
And products?
So I'm using this thing called Ultraceuticals.
Yes.
So to start with, it was just a cleanser and a moisturiser and a sunscreen.
Yes.
Now I'm putting some active ingredients on my face as well because the rosacea's cleared up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And then also Julie Civiello-Pollier was telling us about a few different exercises to help drain some of that inflammation from the face. So started doing a few more things and off the doxy now.
Yeah.
So after the trip to the US, I just couldn't remember when to take it because with time zone changes. So I've been off that for a few months now.
Yeah.
And just, doing the skincare. A key thing with the skincare, I think, is you'll probably look at me and go, Steph, this is what we all do.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Cleanse for a minute.
Yeah.
So cleanse for a
very
full
good
minute.
cleanse. Yes.
A very good
And sometimes
cleanse.
you can double cleanse.
Double cleanse, but a minute of moisturising. A minute of
movement. Yeah.
And that I think has been a real game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're actually like getting the makeup off, but then you're actually cleansing under the makeup.
Yeah. So that's actually one of my New Year's ins.
Yeah.
Is cleanse for a minute.
Yep.
Morning and night.
Yep.
Which I'm really enjoying actually because it is a bit of time where I'm like, it's my time.
Yeah.
To cleanse my face. So it's still an ongoing battle. I can still tell when I have got, if I do have too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much anything, I can tell it on my face.
Yeah.
Like I'm a bit redder than usual now because I have been
indulging. Yeah.
But it's now not a dire situation. It's now just sort of working through it.
Yeah. It's looking really great.
Yeah. So it's been a really, like it is. It's a journey. It's a journey. And I am working on like phone calls every day where I'm on my like I'm on the videos. So it's really hard, but it's so nice to be able to walk outside now just with sunscreen on and actually not have to put foundation on every day and worry about that.
Yeah, it's something that until you go through it, right, you don't really think about it, do you? You know?
No.
It's like everything.
You take it for granted.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and your
every kind of situation, your face is always on display, isn't it?
It's the part of your body that you show. Even if you're covering up everything else, you've still got your face there. So it's a bit it was confronting.
And I think on many levels because you are, like, because of your work, you are on film as well.
Yeah.
Like, that makes it even more. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, but it was I'm glad I've got it under control, but fuck me, like that was 6 months.
A process, yeah.
6 months of
and still pieces. Kind of ongoing too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And rosacea is the kind of thing like it is something that stays with you, but it flares up in those they're like, have you had stress? Have you had this? Have you got hormone changes? You know, so it was a baptism of fire with all of the different things going on in my life, but I do think it showed itself then because my body's like, okay, we haven't had
your body was feeling a bit safer.
Yeah.
To maybe let some of the fear, anger, grief come out.
Manifest through my skin. Yeah.
The body is wild, isn't it? Like
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So I do have, which I haven't paid you for yet, that red light mask.
Fine. I'll have a nice little injection at some point.
Yeah, I will. Injection. I actually haven't used it yet. You
need to.
I know I need to.
Because you could stop going to the other one.
Yeah, well, I have. Yeah, exactly. I haven't booked in. So I will start. It's the one at the dermatologist is a bit more like
Have you looked at it? Have you looked, though, have you compared them?
Yeah, because the one at the dermatologist, I've got to wear like heavy duty
you do.
Goggles because it's it was intense. A different type of light.
Yeah, okay.
For the inflammation, but now I can go to red light treatment.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I need to get mine back on every day too. I've forgotten it.
So I did actually take it on both trips with me. I took it to the US and the UK with me.
Did you use it?
Didn't use it once.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's very.
I was like,
thin.
I'm going to have so much time while I'm over there. I didn't have any time.
No. And if you did, maybe you and I chatted, and then you should have put it on when we were chatting. Anyway,
maybe we'll record the next pod with our faces on.
Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Great. We'll have to take it off halfway because I think it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes. I think after 20 minutes, you can keep it on. It just doesn't have the same, doesn't have really any...
The potency.
Any potency. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so are we going to go straight into our topic for the day?
Yeah, I think so. I think...
Straight into it after 30 minutes of just prattle.
I guess this is not really a topic, is it? We're just like having a chat today.
Yeah.
And,
well, it is a topic. It's a topic.
It is a topic.
New Year's resolutions, intentions.
I don't love the name resolution.
I hate New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. Why?
The reason I hate them is because I feel like there's a lot of pressure. So I think people go, what's your New Year's resolution? And people usually have like something that is quite specific but quite broad, and I don't actually think it captures what you're trying to capture. And people then, and I've talked to a few people about it, I've said, do you have any resolutions or intentions for the year? And most people are disillusioned by resolutions because they find them disappointing. And they don't, it doesn't happen, and then they get disappointed.
You feel let
and they
down.
beat themselves up, and then they let down, and they feel like they've let themselves down.
Yeah. There's so much hype, isn't there? What I notice with social media is that coming up to the end of the year, there's so much hype around the end of the year and how you're going to finish the year, and like, let's finish it on a high. And I read something about Christmas being an amplifier.
Yeah.
So however, I don't know if we spoke about this in the other pod. No, we wouldn't have. It amplifies whatever emotion that you're feeling. And I feel like that is so true. I was like, that really like makes sense for me. So there's this like big kind of like crescendo at the end of the year. And then also then it flows through to like the beginning of the year. And then I agree with the pressure. Like I feel like there's so much pressure to kind of have your shit sorted out.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, for us here in Australia, I feel like it's unfair to put that pressure on ourselves because realistically we are in holiday mode. We should be enjoying the time with our families and loved ones and being present in the moment rather than putting pressure on ourselves to feel like we need to come up with these
lofty goals. And life-changing goals. And I remember like last year was survival. The fact that I'm still alive, that Hugh is still alive, that we are both still living, to me that's an accomplishment. Like that is survival. And I feel like New Year's resolutions is like, it's got to be better and this and that. And sometimes it's like, you know what? Right now it's just about getting through the day.
I'd made it.
Or now it's just about, and I think that that's also, like I used to always do a word, a word for the year, but I did used to do resolutions, but now my resolution is just like live in the moment. Like my resolution is I don't want to have a resolution.
Yes. I think I just have something caught up with that word resolution.
Because you're going to resolve something?
I just don't love the word.
Yeah, well, because what does it even mean? Because it's like you're resolving something. So like you're finding a solution maybe.
Yes.
A resolution.
No.
A resolution.
A resolution, for something that, is life and it is.
There's no solution.
There's no solution. It is what it is, and we can, intentionally create what we desire. So I like the word intention.
Yeah.
What are our intentions?
Yeah, I definitely love intentions, but resolutions can get fucked.
Agreed.
But intentions, come on it down, baby.
Yes. And let's break that down. Intent.
Because it's your intent.
Your intent.
Yeah. And it's like having some, what's that word I'm looking for? Having some intention. No, that's not the word.
Holding intention.
Being conscious, like consciously deciding something.
Yes. You're consciously creating your intention. I feel like there's more thought that goes into it.
Yes.
In a sense. So typically, Steph called me yesterday or texted me or something. She's like, I've got all these. Steph is amazing because she's constantly on the go. It's her Manny-Gen sense of like her human design. She's amazing in fueling me, I guess. I'm a great fire starter, but then I can fade as
I'll stoke the fire.
So Steph is amazing at stoking the fire. And so yesterday or the day before, I can't quite remember, she like texted me and I was very much in landscaping mode, but she kind of fueled the fire in a sense like, I really want us to talk about this, like, and set intentions. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Like very like my meh mode.
But what you actually said to me was, okay, sure. But your internal voice was like, can you just fuck off, Steph, and just like lose my number, please?
No, it wasn't. No, it never is. It never is. I really am so grateful for you, your enthusiasm and how the momentum that you create. So I just wanted to send you gratitude for that.
Thank you. I accept that.
Because I need it. And the podcast is really important to me. So I need, although sometimes I might need my rest, and it might be an ongoing rest cycle, I also need that kind of, it's nice to have someone holding me to account as well. So anyway, Steph did get me thinking about, okay, usually I set my intentions later in January because we shut down at work and we're not back up and running until like the 20th or something like that. And so I usually do it after that point. But last night I had inspiration and I did some planning or intention setting, and it was such a beautiful experience and I can't wait to share it with you all.
I love that. I love that. And before we go into that, Chloe, just quickly, I did some Googling just now.
Yes.
So resolution, the definition, dictionary definition is a firm decision to do or not do something. Okay, so firm decision, that's what I don't like, because I think life is flowing and things
flexible,
change.
fluid.
And intentions can mean so many different things. So intention, a thing intended, an aim or plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it can be fluid and change.
Exactly. And things change and we go with the flow, and that's what life needs to be. Not this rigid have to do. And I hate boxes. I hate being put in boxes. That's why I hate resolutions maybe.
Yes. Hate them. We're binning them.
Hate's a strong word, but we're binning them. We are binning resolutions.
Yeah. So we are setting intentions. And I've have you sat down?
Well, so I'm in a text group it started actually about Harry and Meghan. So it was about the Harry and Meghan because we all are royalists and we like our gossip about the royal family. We were also reading the Harry book, which was about this time last year, I think. Anyway, in this group chat last year, we said, what's our word for the year?
Yes.
And again, that was probably last year was probably the first year I felt like I had some hope where I could have a word, whereas the word before that was just like get through the year. Mm-hmm. And my word last year, so I went back through because they've been hounding me for my word and I'm like, I don't know, tell me your words. But I went back to last year's thread and my word last year was lightness.
Great.
So I wanted to be not so like emo all the time. And absolutely the grief and the emotions are still there, but I just wanted to have more lightness in my life. Lightness in what I was consuming. So in terms of like the books that I'm reading are not all books about grief and death. Yeah. The Instagram accounts I'm following are not just about grief and death. Like, so everything in my life was just about that, really. And not everything, but a lot of the things I was consuming was related to that because I wanted to understand it or try and, feel related or feel seen, So, but that also it's heavy all the time. So I just wanted that lightness. I also wanted to just be a bit lighter, but it was mainly around that. And I feel like I achieved that in spades. I feel really proud of that intention. And it was something I did keep in mind with everything I was doing. So yes,
love that.
I did go deep. I needed to go in the dark, but I just wanted to feel a bit lighter and easy breezy.
Yes.
You know? And I feel like definitely in doing the pod and chatting to you and hearing your perspective on things, I think has also really helped. So so last year was lightness. This year I've got a few to toy with, but I would love to hear your thoughts first.
Well, I think last year I did a word as well, and I'm really sorry I forgot to look at what that was. But I have come to a word for this year as well.
I love it. Okay.
So do you want me to share my word?
Yeah.
My word for 2024 is abundance. And I don't mean that just in the sense of a wealth abundance.
That's what I love about a word, because I feel like it's got so many different meanings.
I think that's what I like about, a single word. And I like the lightness aspect too, because you could apply that to many different situations.
I applied it to everything.
And I feel like abundance is the same. So I want to feel abundant in my freedom. I want to feel abundant in my travel adventures. I want to feel abundant in my wealth.
I was going to say, we still want the wealth. Give me the money.
And that can be another episode, because I've got so much to talk about money and all the things that we have that are negatively attached to that energy.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that another time. But abundance is my word.
I love
my word for 2024. Yeah. It feels really resonant with me.
Yes.
I feel it deep in my core. So I'm really excited. And it was funny when I was doing my my intentions.
So this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah. So I'll share. I actually lied.
So for those, so Chloe's got a few pages just full of notes. Yeah,
and I'm happy to share how my process as well. We actually, with my business coach at the end of 2023, we've got my energy coach, which I've spoken to you a little bit about on the pod. But our energy coach did take us through a reflection and a like kind of a bit of like a timeline, I guess, setting for 2024, which was actually really nice. And this is what I've done here last night was kind of similar. Mm-hmm. So I might talk through some of the steps.
Yep.
So step 1 is like just kind of getting yourself in a really like comfortable position, closing down your eyes, feeling super relaxed. And the first thing that you do is you project yourself to the end of 2024. So you want to kind of whiz yourself through over the next year, this year ahead, and kind of land yourself to the last day of 2024.
Okay.
And what you're going to do at that point is kind of look back at your 2024 and see all the amazing milestones and things that you've achieved and how you feel. The really important part is to really settle into that feeling in your body on what you feel on that last day of 2024. And so I did that last night. And I can tell you that this does not have to be a long process. It literally took me 20 minutes, 30 max. So I projected myself to end of 2024.
What were you wearing?
Do you know, I've got an answer for you because with the energy coach, we did a similar thing and we went back to we did it from the date. So I think we did that on the 12th of December. So she kept it to the same. So she said, project yourself to the 12th of December, 2024.
Okay.
So she did the year from that date. But in that one, do you know what I was wearing?
Tell me.
Okay. I was wearing this really flowy white linen set. And I was standing in our kitchen, just kind of gracefully walking, kind of like I was floating. It was weird.
Beautiful. Yeah. Were you wearing shoes or footless? Footless.
Footloose and fancy free, gal.
Footloose and fancy free. So, the reason I say that is, so I'm a very much I see things.
Yes.
So when you're talking, I'm picturing. Visualizing it.
Yeah.
And now I can visualize you walking through your kitchen, almost with a bit of a light behind you, backlit,
ethereal kind of
hairs just in the breeze, just
See, it's good, isn't it? But then the important thing is to anchor into the feeling of that moment.
How did it feel?
So peaceful.
Yeah.
Which is my signature as a manifestor, is to feel peace. So if I'm feeling peaceful, I'm feeling fucking great.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. So
almost angelic, dove-like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, exactly. All of that. Very light and bright.
Mm.
Yeah. So on your first page, you're all going to, if you wanted to do this, is you're going to write the words vision at the top, and you're going to project yourself to the end of 2024, look back on all of the things you've accomplished, how you're feeling, what does it look like, what does it feel like, and then you're going to write that down.
So in terms of when we're thinking about like specific things we've achieved, are you being quite specific, or are you being like, we did X, Y, Z, or is it more?
Would you want me to read you some?
Yeah, if you could.
Okay. All right. So this is interesting. So I've got home is peaceful and happy. We've got new artwork. Kids are outdoors playing. Adsy's come in from a surf. I've supported 10 women and coached them in 2024. So putting that out there. I've created some mini programs that's brought in $100,000. Raw continues to be the beautiful team. I kept seeing everyone in Raw's beautiful smiling faces. We have launched programs within Raw. I've got a growing investment portfolio. There is so much abundance and richness in my life. My boys are so proud, and I'm so proud of them, but they are also proud of themselves, and growing my heart swells with pride. My body is strong and well nourished. The podcast is flourishing. We've run a retreat and we are looking into speaking gigs. We've holidayed in Bali. We're looking, I'm sitting in Fiji as I write this. So who knows? So it's not.
No, I feel like I could do that, because I was thinking like you were thinking, we've got to have specific, To me, that's specific, but it's also not like daunting.
No.
Like, I feel like I could write that just like me sitting here and journaling about what the last 12 months has looked like.
Exactly.
Not me like I go straight to that KPI mode of work. Like this is the outcomes and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But that does include that.
I've still got a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes you still need to have some specificity.
No, I think you need specificity, but this for me, yeah.
Yeah, but in a light way. So that's your light word, I think. And you can see that I've thought about all the different aspects of my life too. Like I'm thinking about career, I'm thinking about my wellness, I'm thinking about like the podcast, I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about adventure and travel and holidays. Yeah. So that kind of sphere of many different things. So I've got life is wonderfully magnificent, and I've just got here abundant as fuck, aligned as fuck,
I love
nourished as fuck, aligned as fuck. And my feelings are gratitude, extreme happiness, pride for self and family, love, satisfaction, and abundance. So that was the first part.
Okay.
Step 1 and 2, I guess, because your first bit is getting you into that kind of like peaceful kind of place of relaxation, visioning your 2024, end of 24, looking back, and feeling that pride, I guess, of what you have achieved. And
I can feel that. I can feel your feelings of that.
Yeah, great. I love that.
It radiates off you.
Yeah, it was actually really beautiful. And so, just so that I can reiterate, it doesn't have to be a long process as well. Like, I mean, to be honest, I've talked about it with you guys for 5 minutes, and that's like really, So do you want me to jump into the next step?
Yes. And then I'll leave my questions to the end. Otherwise,
All right.
Keep
going. So then your next part is like, so that's all well and good to have your vision, I guess. Your next kind of part is like taking action from that vision. So you have your vision page, and then you're going to have your action page. And so then from your list, you're going to pick out 4 keywords or themes that are in your list of like what you kind of felt, going back to the feeling. So my number 1 is abundance. My number 2 is love. My number 3 was adventure. And my number 4 was nourish. So they're my 4 themes. And then you're going to put in how you're going to take action to feel that in 2024.
Okay.
Because then this is kind of like, when you talk about manifesting, you don't just manifest it. Like, you have to take action to manifest those intentions or goals, or however you want to live your life. So I really liked this because it was kind of like then making it like an achievable, like little mini steps, So I've got here, like, say if I'm doing my nourished theme, because I want to feel nourished. So I want to meditate. This is my first one. I want to move my body, and I've got Pilates as my main thing. I want to have flexibility with Adam to ensure that he is nourished.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have HelloFresh anymore.
That's out.
That's out. And that was my out for 2023. I've got to tell you, I did the ins and outs for 2023, and that was my out for 2023. It happened for like 2 weeks. I want to have more organic fruit and veggies to feel nourished. I want to plan my meals, like do meal plans and prep. And I've been told about this fantastic, there's a book, but then there's also like a website called Recipe Tin Eats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got that cookbook. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the cookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done some stuff on her website and I loved it.
Yeah,
It was
she's
super
got great
easy.
stuff. Yeah.
And
you feel so smug. I meal planned once 1 week last year,
smug.
and I still feel smug about it.
I know.
So I'm on that.
And I'm wondering if I might do it on a Friday and not a Sunday.
I think Friday's a nice day to be organised for the week ahead.
Yeah. I feel like Nabs might have said this.
She did.
That she does her prep, like meal planning, on a Friday.
Yeah.
And that I'm used to do it on a Sunday. And I was like, I'm going to trial it on a Friday, I reckon.
like that, yeah.
And then maybe pick up the food that you can collect on a
Sunday.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. On a Sunday. Yeah. And then I'm going to do my enemas and I want to do my fasting.
And we'll talk about the enemas in a separate episode.
Yeah.
That might be in a little sealed section.
Maybe
part of the podcast.
So, then can you see how I guess there's like some steps into how I can ensure my theme of nourishment is achieved by like these like little action steps that I can kind of keep to and keep me accountable to feel nourished by the end of the year. Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
It's so great.
I'm going to do this. Maybe we could put together a little worksheet for everyone.
Yeah. I'd be happy to.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And then how did you feel sharing that?
Well, you would notice that I haven't spoken about my abundance part.
No, because, and you don't have to share.
Yeah.
Well,
so I feel, I
part,
picked nourished, right? Yeah. So I've got abundance, love, and adventure.
So you've got, so from your vision, they were the 4 themes. So abundance, love, nourished,
and adventure. Yeah. They're like feelings or the themes that I want.
And you don't need to share them.
But it's interesting because number 1 was my abundance, and obviously my word for the year is abundant. I have gone into a bit more detail around specific monetary amounts.
And maybe that could be a sealed section episode later on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would, it was interesting, is it, that I didn't choose to share that.
That's okay.
And that's because I think there is part of me that feels a little bit like, I guess there's not, do I want to say shame? That feels like a very low-lying emotion around it.
Or is it
shame, judgment, fear?
Is it other people judging you?
Yeah.
Or is it a feeling coming from other people or from you? Because shame is more you projecting in a way, whereas judgment is more other people. Or you feeling that it will be other people.
I think sometimes when I speak very honestly and openly about money, which I'm I actually am happy to do, and I actually love having conversations around money because I think it's really important that we do that and we shouldn't shy away from it. It's interesting, though, that I have shied away from it. So it's just something for me to be aware of. I think the reason is because I just don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, which is fucked.
Yeah.
So anyway, we might come to that.
Yeah, we can come to that later on because I will probably I want to do this. I want to have the time to do it. So I will do it before January is out.
Perfect. Love that.
And I will share back.
Yeah.
I'll share back. So in terms of my word for this year, one of the words I was toying with was fortify. Fortifying.
Ooh. And I think about fortified wine.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Talk me through this.
That doesn't come into it. So I was liking fortify, and the reason I liked it was because I feel like
I don't think I know the meaning properly.
Yeah. So one of the meanings, there's a number of meanings. I didn't like the meanings when I looked them up because it was about like fortifying a city, so protecting it against an attack, which is not what I want to do. Because I feel like I've been in that mode of protecting against an attack for a while.
Yeah.
That's how I've felt.
Yes.
But by fortifying, I mean like I want to strengthen. So I want to strengthen myself in all sorts of areas. So I want to strengthen it in a very literal way in terms of I used to be a gym junkie bunny, whatever they're called, used to, be so strong, and I feel like that's not happened.
Yes.
And I might be strong arms from carrying my 14-kilo baby around, but I want to feel strong. So I want to get back to the gym. I want to get back to running. I want to get whatever that is. I don't know what that is yet, but I will
You want to find your thing.
I want to feel physically strong. I also want to strengthen. I feel like I need to strengthen my resolve, because I feel like I've got quite a strong resolve. But I want to be more aware, or it's not even aware, but more in control of what impacts me and what doesn't impact me. So I still feel like I get, like, if someone says to me, how many children do you have, which is a question I've gotten a few times lately, I'm knocked for a 6. It is something that just completely, like, it's like a shot put into the stomach, and I'm just like, then, back.
So how would you want to control that, though?
I want to.
Is that the right
word? I want to not let
word?
other people's energy control me as much. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right example. I don't know. That's why I need to think through more. But it's just, I want to
strengthen.
And sometimes I feel like I overshare.
Fortify or strengthening?
Because strengthen is, I quite like, it's in the group chat, one of the other girls has strengthen as their words. But I can have it.
You can have it.
I can have the same word.
Yeah.
So maybe it's strengthen, because I feel like I just want to strengthen.
Do you like the word fortify?
Not really. No, especially, but I just wasn't, I'm toying with it. So I'm still
playing.
Again, I still haven't.
I like the idea. I like what you're saying.
Because I suppose what I mean with the strengthen thing is, like, when people talk to me, is I don't want other people's words to have as much of an impact on me.
Yes.
So I feel like my energy levels, I've been taking on a lot of people's energy very easily, because my energy shield has been low. I feel like as my vibrations are raising, which I feel like they have been, then I've got a little bit more protection. So it is almost a bit of like, just because people's words do really still hurt.
Yeah.
They don't mean to.
No, they don't mean to. It's your... Is it awareness? Is it your awareness?
It's not awareness, because I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. If anyone out there has got any...
awareness, is it more your awareness to be like, oh, that stung a bit?
But I'm aware of that already. But do I need a shield? Or maybe I shouldn't be having a shield. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't
just one,
Because I don't like the negative. Like, I don't want to be defensive. I don't want to be shielding.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. But I want to. I definitely. Maybe I need to do this exercise. Maybe what I need to do is the vision exercise.
I feel like this did kind of speak and brought out the themes.
Yeah.
And then that enabled me to think about the word.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think maybe that is the way to do it. So I'll come back to you. But
I love where it's going, though. I think that it's like, it makes a lot of sense that you want to strengthen or fortify yourself.
Yeah, and like my position and my our financial position and our family and what we're doing, because it has been, the last, it will be 3, Arthur would be 3 in February. So January is always a bit of a head fuck. Like Boxing Day is always a head. I was in, just after Christmas is always hard, because I always just feel so upset and as deflated, and I hate the world and I hate everyone, and living in a holiday town, we go outside and we see people, and I'm like,
have to talk to people.
Exactly. I'm like, leave me alone. Hugh forced me to go for a swim in the ocean, just because I was just in such a funk, and it's like, I'm allowed to be in a funk, Hugh. Like, I'm actually allowed to have these days, but he's
He's
right.
Also, it was allowed to offer a supportive option to move through it.
Exactly, and it was
helpful.
It was really helpful. But January is always like now it's Arthur's birthday next month. And I always think back to 2021, and we had the most beautiful summer with him and when he was in utero. Anyway, it's just a bit of a head fuck the next 2 months of the year for me. But I do want to
allow that beauty to be there, though.
Yeah,
Steph.
no. Oh no. And it's hard though.
I know.
It's hard. But I also don't want to be, I feel like I want to be vulnerable, but I don't want to be vulnerable this year. Like, I feel like my life sort of got blown open. Everything changed. We were smashed into a million pieces, and then, if you put back that mirror together, it's never going to look the same. It's always going to be different. So I think being vulnerable is important, but I also don't want to be as vulnerable. And that's where that fortify position came from.
Yes.
Because
with the protection
I want to have control of our life, whereas we've had to rely on so many other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll do that. I'll do the exercise.
Yeah. No, I think it's sounding, I think you enjoy the exercise. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love how you framed that. I think it's really cool. One thing I also would like everyone to do, so this is what Huey and I did, which is a lot less sexy than intentions. We said, okay, what do we want to do this year in terms of health-wise? What appointments do we need to have? So I haven't had my cervical cancer screening for ages, so I need that. Wrote that. I also need to have a colonoscopy because we've got a family history that I need to get checked, and I haven't been able to while I've been breastfeeding and pregnant and all that kind of stuff. Then we said, okay, what does Freddie need from medical? He needs his 18-month checkup. What does Hugh need? He needs this and this. So we actually wrote down he needs a skin check because he's not had a skin check for a while.
Yeah.
So what I implore everyone to do is just think about what age group are you in, what testing do you need to have your bowel health screening, do you need to have your heart screening. Another thing about Singapore is every year we were given from our health insurance and work, paid for it as well, a full health check. So get your bloods done, get your heart checked, get your this check. Like they did the full work. So I'm also going to go to my GP, get my bloods done, all that kind of stuff. So I would just, and we've booked in most of these appointments already.
Wow.
We just did it.
Can
we
you
just wrote a
action
list
takers?
and just did it. So I would just say, think about
I
your
love that. Yeah, I haven't thought
physical
about that.
health.
Yes.
And what
do you need
to
achieve this year
to do
in order
and
to
just action and do that in January.
Yeah.
And my other call out is if you got any vouchers for Christmas, spend them.
Yes.
Because I feel like we always forget about them and they stay there and they never get spent. So they're my two actions.
True.
They're my two vouchers. So Hugh's got his skin check. And like we're also like, do we need to go to a couples counsellor again? Because we were doing that last year, which was great.
Yeah.
Like it was when we were in a not the best place, but we're in a much better place now. But I still want to do it because we've still got so much to work through.
Yeah, yeah. Well, everyone, we've all got shit to work through, don't we?
Yeah.
As your own self, as a couple, as a, whatever. Yeah, we all have so much gunk and junk.
And I mean, something that's, and this is something I really want to dive deep into in an episode, is like we've got one child in this world, one child in another, but like I've always seen a big family. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I think maybe we'll just stop with Freddie. But then I've got such a dilemma in my head around not him being an only child, but like he should be playing with, like it is, but it is like, do we have another one? Do we not? Like only children. I know you're an only child. I would love to understand that a little bit more.
I'd be so happy to share my thoughts around it.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a question mark. I don't think that's going to be resolved this year, but that's just sort of
something in the back of your mind constantly,
every day.
Until you maybe make a decision. But do we
need to make
a decision?
I don't think we need to make a decision.
Just throw caution to the wind.
I love a plan. A loose plan. I just love to know where we're going.
Yeah, have a loose plan.
But maybe it's back to this vision thing of like that's actually just focus on the feelings and the words.
Yeah. I think the feelings are a big component. Definitely. Love that. All right. Anything else to add on our intention setting for 2024? Before we jump into
one thing. So Chloe gave me the most beautiful, beautiful diary for 2024 for the Christmas present, which was lovely. What's it called? It's called The Magic of Incarnation.
Magic of I?
Magic of I, yeah. So the I stands for incantation.
Oh, stop it. I did not know that.
So it's this beautiful book which is like a planner and it's got stuff about the moon and everything else. And actually when you gave this to me, this uncovered like a deep fear I have of like using things. Like whenever I get diaries or books, I'm always like so scared to write in them to start with. I don't know why. Like I've got this thing, they need to be perfect, so I can't. So I wrote my name. I wrote this planner belongs to.
Great. You haven't done your sun, moon or rising.
But did you feel like that?
I definitely do.
Like you don't want to put the marking on the page in case.
Oh, kind of.
I used to be like that.
Do you know what I love though? Do you know what I actually do? Because I did this last year as well. I had a bit of a different diary, but I did get given this one as well. Also, when I went to a yoga class, it's quite nice to have it and to reflect back on. So shortly I'm going to go through the lunar stuff, astro, for January, well, a little bit of it, but it's just nice to kind of have that to go back to because it's all a cycle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I love this. I'm going to be writing in it nonstop.
Yeah.
But that was my first. That's only I will do my sun, moon, and rising, and all the other components. But I just
I haven't read through actually this. They've got beautiful intentions here.
Well, that's what I was going to talk
guide.
to. Yeah,
yeah.
So in this book, they talk to 8 areas of your life. So having intentions for 8 areas of your life. So spiritual, mental. So spiritual, expansion, soul, and being. Mental, mind, learning, wisdom. Work, career, contribution, service. Love, family, relationships, connection. Wealth, financial goals, assets and resources. Social, connection, community and fun. Physical health, fitness and well-being. And inspiration, travel, creativity, adventure. So that's also ways, if you're thinking about, as you're pulling together your 2024 vision, that's potentially, areas of your life that you could look at.
I love that. I've just actually changed something on mine. So just from that where it said inspiration, travel, creativity, adventure, and I had adventure as one of my themes, but maybe it's more inspiration or feeling inspired, because travel and adventure ignites inspiration and creativity.
Yeah.
Interesting. Love that.
Love it.
Yeah, brilliant. I might even do this as well.
Oh, no, this is excellent, this book. We'll link to it in the show notes, but it's
has got what I would like, actionable steps.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was so similar.
Yeah, so many different things.
What you would like is what you would vision, and then how you're going to take actionable steps to achieve it.
Yep.
So it's the same.
Yep.
Same.
Same as summer.
Same,
but different.
So, yeah.
So
cool. We'll write in it. It's going to be great.
We're going to write in it?
Yeah.
And we're going to do it. Now, should we pull a card for the week?
Yes. Do you want me to do Astro first?
Oh, yeah. Please.
All right.
And this book has also got Astro for the week.
It's got so much stuff in there. It doesn't go into detail like my last one that I had.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we have a new moon on January the 11th in Capricorn.
Oh, no, we've not talked about the Capricornians yet.
We haven't. I've got a little bit around that.
Yeah,
okay.
Would like. I better Google the celebrities.
Yes,
Give me
please
a moment.
do. So this is a really potent kind of time and energy to really ground down and set your intentions and visions for 2024. So perfect time to do all of this planning, everyone. So if you want to use the energy of the new moon is obviously about new beginnings, setting intentions, that vision, creating the vision and planning for your future. So it's a beautiful time. So around this next, you can, use the energy of the new moon for around 48 hours either side of the new moon, which falls on the 11th of January. So think about what practices and rituals can you implement to support your goals and growth this year, and kind of think about those small incremental steps that you can implement. Mm-hmm. And we've chatted about it before, like that atomic habits, and they often talk about habit stacking and putting it to something that you already do. So make it easy. Like, don't go about these grand big things and then just forget about it, attach it to something or something else. The Capricornian energy, so it's a cardinal earth sign, so it's really grounded in earth energy, very centered, clear, disciplined. They are a steadfast goat, so they've got great focus, determination and commitment. So it's just really the most amazing energy for the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I had no idea that a Capricorn was a goat.
I know, yeah. So decide now how you want to feel. It's really if you link back to that kind of feeling and anchor into how you want to feel this year, that will just put you in great stead for this year. Come back to that. Capricorn energy is really associated with career and your life's work, and it's also a really amazing season to go inward, which is quite funny here. We're out a lot, but I've also felt a big pull to kind of stay home too. And I've been a bit yesterday I was quite slow and a bit lethargic, and it's all to do with the season as well, in that there's a lot of solitude in this season too. So if you're feeling like being by yourself, it's totally normal and okay. And I would say follow that intuitive pull.
I think we need to get better at just being alone, not lonely.
No,
alone, but not lonely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the importance for that aloneness is that we hear, our inner voice, our intuition speaks to us when we are alone. We hear it more because when we're not we don't have that external, there's not that need for external validation because we're just solely inward. So it's such a beautiful time to go inward and take the time to create and set your intentions for the year ahead. And the energy is really supportive for you to do that. Yeah. And then something that just came up too was that on the 11th, so it's the 11th of the 1st, so it's a portal. So it's a beautiful manifestation portal that you can really anchor into as well. If you follow, us, and we talk about recurring numbers and the not the importance, but maybe the what's the word?
Significance.
The
or synchronicity.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
And then it's interesting that the new moon falls on the 11th as well. So 11th of the 1st. So 111.
111. And Huey often says that new moon's good for fishing.
Yeah. Well, did you know in this book it's got the planting guide as well? Yeah, when you should plant different foods.
That was actually one of the questions I had for Charlotte, which we didn't get to many questions for Charlotte. Which
no,
was
we
around,
didn't.
Planting on the moon cycles.
Yes.
Planting the grapes or harvesting the grapes around moon cycles. Yeah.
I don't know whether she does do that, but I know some grape growers do.
I feel like we've got to bring her back.
Yeah, have another
ask
chat.
her a few
She was fun. So fun. I actually get some more intel for you guys. It was just, but I don't know. Would it just be another
It doesn't
enjoyment?
It'd be a multi-part.
It was funny.
Series, yeah.
So fun. So yeah, that's what's kind of coming up. New moon. We've got the 111 portal.
Yes.
We're in Capricorn season. So enjoy the solitude. Enjoy going inward, setting your intentions. For the year ahead. I'm excited.
Very cool. Well, in terms of the Capricorns you may know, we've got Denzel Washington, Michelle Obama, a bit of Diane Keaton, Martin Luther King Jr., Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
I love.
Stop it.
She bangs, she bangs.
Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves.
I got great.
I'm sure they don't want to listen to us sing.
Timothy Chalamet.
Who's that?
Timothée.
I don't know who that is.
He's dating Kyle Jenner. I feel like there's always a Kardashian or a Jenner in the mix.
Always.
And he's also Wonka in the latest Wonka movie. Jim Carrey, Kate Middleton.
Okay.
A few people there. Blue Ivy Carter. David Bowie. Blue Ivy Carter?
Yeah.
She's the Beyonce and Jay-Z's
Sorry, got a
baby.
plane going over. Head. Oh.
Yeah, the firstborn of Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Now,
Gayle King, Oprah's BFF.
Let's move right along to the Gayle. Love Gayle. The card pull of the week. Sacred Feminine
we've done them
Oracle.
before.
We have done these before. Yeah.
Do you want to choose or do
You can. Yeah. I think I've done a lot of talking.
I feel like
You've over my voice now, aren't you?
Okay, generous.
Ooh. Number 24, green. Green. Okay. Green. Oh, I just flipped to it. That's funny. So the category is self-knowledge and expression. So the key words are abundance, generosity, security, maternity, and youthful spirit. This card invites you to use your ability to create abundance in your life and lives of others by working for things that are right, that have called you, and in which you invest yourself, body and soul energies will prosper around you. Say a loud yes to simplicity and fluidity, because things don't need to be difficult or complicated. Everything can be fine and unfold well, and the resources you need may appear suddenly as if by magic. Don't forget that the divine always works backstage. Have faith in the generosity of energy flows and be generous to yourself so the law of resonance may operate. If you show generosity, your being will radiate it and then attract it in return. I love that. There's more to it, but I won't read more. But I'm just seeing if there's anything else that comes to it. No, I think that's the main thing. So, yeah, share generously to then be abundant yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's so beautiful. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to that?
I love it. I think it's just very aligned to what we've been discussing.
Absolutely. And super aligned too. So we are looking at getting a numerologist on to chat on the pod about the year this year. So we are a number 8 year, which is about abundance and prosperity.
So that's 2 plus 2 plus 4 in terms of 2024. Is that correct? Is that what the 8 comes from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've never thought about how that's how you would added it together. Yes. Great. Well done. So we're in a year 8 year, but it's all about kind of that, like, building the foundations and the prosperity and the abundance. So it's quite interesting that then for our first card pull of the year, we've got generosity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Beautiful.
And just, I suppose the one thing I'd have to add is that, and I feel like the card touched on this, is be generous. Like, think about how we treat other people and how we give them grace and generosity and everything else, and give that to ourselves.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So we just encourage you all to, what are you going to do to be selfish?
Yeah, and put set the time and for your intentions, because it's going to, one, for me, if I'm speaking from my experience, it's made me feel really great.
Yeah.
You've felt my energy
I felt great when you were talking about it.
Yeah. And others around me will feel great. Like the level of vibration has increased because I've done this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've raised my vibration too.
Yeah. So
and then do you encourage that as well, once people have done this, that they do share it with someone else?
Or if you feel the call to. Yeah.
Like, would you share this with Adam? Because is it then your shared vision, or is it would he do this? Because with Hugh, so I've had to talk to him about his word.
Yes.
Because we're like, well, then how do we build a plan for all of us?
Yeah.
As
a family
how do we build
unit
together both of our visions for the year? And, one thing we talked about was the health checks, but then also, what are our holidays? Let's actually book him. Hugh's turning 40 this year.
Yeah. Oh, big 4. I love that.
I've got, my work is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have more travel, and Chloe's going to join me on some of it. But, so I want to be really intentional with the time and making sure that we've carved out enough time for each other. So, yeah.
I think that when you share it, it kind of ignites the intensity of it. So, in a sense that it could manifest more quickly, or it might be on a quicker timeline.
And you've grounded it a bit.
Yeah,
like it's not just some airy fairy. I want to do this. You're like,
and
I
for
am
self,
doing this.
Yeah, you've shared. Like, so I've now shared mine on a.
I'm gonna pull this audio.
Yeah.
Next
No,
year.
it'll be super interesting to have a listen back, and I love that. That excites me. So yeah. Happy intention setting.
And thank you all so much for listening.
Yeah. Share the love, guys.
Yeah,
we would absolutely love to get into to kind of just touch more people this year. So if you feel inclined to share, we would be so grateful. And we look forward to it.
And even if you don't feel inclined, can you just please do it?
Yeah. I love Steph. Just just do it. Come on.
Just one person.
Nah, just one person. Yeah. We love you guys.
All right.
Thanks for being
love
here.
You.
Bye.